Well guys, we've been waiting a long time for this one, but it's finally here and I am so gosh dang excited.
I wake up, flex on down that check, no drip is wet, tell 'em run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell 'em run it up.
Got some goodies in there we're gonna open up here in just a second, but she's back. And behind box number one. So here's the head gasket. If you guys never saw what actually happened, torched the head. Obviously you can see the aftermath of the head gasket. So yeah, that's what happened. So this is, I believe this is still a Coyote head gasket, but it's like, it's not the MLX version, it's whatever versions before that, because they didn't have the MLX version out when my engine was built, because the 2018 engine was the Gen 3 Coyote in itself was so new at that point. So now it does have the MLX gasket series on it. And then here is the piston that was on that, whatever number hole. I don't know what number hole is off the top of my head, but unfortunately, that's the piston that got messed up. So yeah, we're gonna go over the build here in just a second on what we changed up and things we kept the same, because we did keep some things the same, but I'll go over that in just a second. Would you look at that? Another banner to the collection. So huge thanks to Will, RPG Engines, California. Hopefully they move to Texas. They should move to Texas, we could be friends. But huge thanks to RPG Engines, Will over there. He really took care of me again, like he always does. My last engine lasted almost a year, and essentially really what it was, I had some overheating issues early on. That was my fault from some of the coolant lines that we had run. I fixed those issues, but I knew that I prematurely hurt the head gaskets, and obviously you can see the head gasket was the failure. That and a combination of these head gaskets aren't the best ones you can get, but now we've got, I believe it is the MLX series in there. It's a lot better head gasket. Should be good for a lot more boost this time, but I knew early on that I had prematurely hurt the head gaskets. I didn't know how bad it was, but I did know it was happening. You know, we had some burping issues with the coolant. The car had some overheating issues early on just from things that I had done. So now all that stuff's fixed. The engine's rebuilt. It's got a lot better parts on it. And I'm gonna show you guys some things that we changed, and I'm gonna show you some things that we upgraded, and then there's a few things that are pretty much the same, such as like the sleeves are the same, they held up just fine, and we'll go over that here in just a second. But huge thanks to Will, RPG Engines. I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for this engine and the first time that we built it. So I'm really excited to be partnered with him on this build. He's a super nice guy, very knowledgeable. He's got some very fast motors. Everyone's pretty much using him right now. So if you guys are looking to get your Coyote or mod motor built, make sure you hit up Will. Just be patient, because it's build season. Everyone's building their engines right now. But be patient. If you want a badass motor, badass engine that's gonna last you, RPG Engines.
I've been in your waters.
Shout out Tommy for the help. Hey! So we got the engine out. Joe's not here, so it's just gonna chill out here for a couple hours. But so we kept everything in the bottom end the same. Still manly pistons, manly rods, still sleeved and O-ringed. And then these are the new Frankenstein heads. So these are my stock heads. They're just ported, and they got these O-rings on them. So they're just ported. Still stock valve train in there. It had springs and retainers before, but still stock cams. But look at that. And then Will got me this nice RPG engine plate, and actually got an actual motor crate this time, or engine crate. I just had I was telling Tommy I had a makeshift piece of wood holding this thing up, but look at that. Legit engine crate. So yeah, and then we did block off the DI injection. I don't know, you probably can't see it, but it's down there. So we blocked off all the DI ports this time, so no direct injection anymore. And we're gonna delete the thermostat this time. I got a fitting from Billet Pro Shop for that. But everything else is pretty much the same. Better head gaskets. And how much boost, Tommy?
All of it.
Exactly, right answer. Whatever this thing's gonna hold. Oh, and then we did lock the cams, so you can see no more VCT. Blocked all those off, so yeah, now the cams are locked in there. That's the issue I was running into last time. All right, so we're getting the motor prepped, engine prepped. Look at that DI block off there, VCT block offs, and showed you guys earlier, but the actual injectors for the DI are plugged under that motor plate. And so we're pretty much getting everything ready. This is what I deleted, this upper and lower radiator hose T. So that goes right there. That's gonna be an AN fitting, and then we'll have to, this piece will go up top, so we'll have to add a fitting to that, or just have a soft line on that one up top. And so I'm pretty much putting the manifolds on, put the engine mounts on, and look at those heads, those are insane. Huge thanks, JR. You guys are Frankenstein, those heads are sick. We're gonna get that on, get the flywheel on, and then probably get the alternator on because it's just easy when it's up front. And then we'll get that over there, that over there, over there, that. So making some good progress here. Got the oil filter adapter on there, got that all back on already. So we're making some moves. Alright, so continuing on getting the engine put back to where we need it before we get it in there. I'm gonna put the Hughes Performance flywheel on, crank trigger, and I'm gonna put some ARP assembly lube right on the little flat head right there, and then we'll put some red Loctite on the actual thread itself. So we're gonna get that on next. Alright guys, so we actually have to add a little section here because the manifold doesn't actually clear the valve cover on the driver's side. The passenger side barely clears it to get a V-band around it, but we have to add a little extension piece to get this around the valve cover. So unfortunately I'll have to get this ceramic coated, but once the new turbo kit's done, I'm gonna ceramic coat the whole car, or the whole exhaust side system. Anyways, holy smokes, Streetcar Joe back at it again.
Hi Dave, here. You need to clean this. That stuff stinks when you take it off. Did you
Yeah,
notice it?
yeah, I probably have cancer, thanks.
Too.
So yeah, my sweet ceramic coating is now gone.
Oh.
Oh well. That's what it is.
Hey Dave, what were we just talking about?
No.
No?
No, we're gonna start a podcast. It's
We're
gonna be
starting
great.
a podcast. But we got this, we were just having a really great talk about, I was saying about like competitive levels of racing,
Yeah, different types of
and
racing.
the types of racers,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it was a good time. We definitely, that should be our first podcast. I've been harassing Dave for seriously weeks now. No, listen, hold on, let me finish.
Is that not
You
bullshit?
interrupted me.
You had one rule,
Stop,
that's why.
Stop. So Dave wanted to start the podcast months ago. And I told him the only rule I had is I need a legit setup, like monitors and boom mics and like studio, you know, yeah, like I wanted to have badass headphones. I wanted all that, right? And Dave was like, oh, I'm working on it. But seriously, for like the last month now, every week, I've been like, hey Dave, Why aren't we starting our podcast?
I'm work. Well, it's kind of busy over here. Like,
No, it's fine. Like, we need to be starting a podcast.
What's it gonna be called? GM versus Ford. LS versus Coyote.
I mean, LS greater than Coyote. We can do that.
Radio versus
Yeah, I
no
guess
crap.
what would we name the podcast?
I don't know. We need a good one.
Just Joe and Dave.
Joe and Dave.
Joe and Dave.
Man, I have so many great ideas. I can't even say them on the camera. They're so good.
What about
Someone's gonna
I don't want to say this because someone's gonna steal the idea. Oh, I
Fromod Dave and Streetcar Joe.
That's not bad. Ice cream shenanigans.
We always do it at Sonic, like those Sonic commercials.
That's perfect. Oh, we're just sitting in the car
Yeah.
bickering back and forth. I like that.
Trying
See?
all the Coney
I'm
dogs.
on something here. I like it.
All right, get to work. We got 15 days.
Okay, tell me about your great ideas. You have 15 days. I'm
Stop
ready.
recording now.
What are you doing, bud? Oh, no.
The purge.
These things always fall out. And then when I need them to stay in,
Hey, get 'em out.
no, seriously. Serious.